Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Trap, a Bears podcast by a Bears fan. I'm your host, Terry, and today looking at all the sacks from the Bears 2018 season. And so this little project comes about, something that I talked about during the season is that Khalil Mack, outside of him, we don't really have any true pass rushers, and that we need to upgrade our pass rush, yada, yada. And so a lot of people try to push back on me. I'm like, look, the coverage is playing a lot better than I thought it would. It's doing their job, and that's the reason we get a lot of this pressure in these sacks. And people are just like, look at the stats. We're ranked this in sacks. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. So, hey, we got the coach film now, so we can go through every sack of the year. I'm going to break it down, and look, if I'm right, I'm right. If you're right, you're right, and then we'll go from there. But for me personally, I feel like the coverage is the main reason we get sacks, outside of Khalil Mack and getting manufactured pressure. And manufactured pressure just means you're blitzing, you're stunning, you're doing different gimmicks to try to get to the pass or to the passer, and you're not going straight up. And you can win that way, but the ultimate goal, as I always push to, is to have the ability to go straight up with your 4 or 3 pass rushers. And we saw that play out with Denver in their Super Bowl run, where when you can just go straight up with your pass rushers and get after it, that allows you to do so much more with coverage. That allows you to put more people in coverage, and it's less for your players to think about. They just line up and get after it. And that's when you are, really hitting on all cylinders in the pass rush. So with that being said, we're going to start out with week 1, which I kind of talked about a little bit. But again, this is the Green Bay Packers, and we'll start with this play. Hopefully we're ready to go. All right, so let's get to this play. So in this game, we have 4 sacks. First one coming in the first quarter. So we'll do this, and if you've seen my other breakdown of the first half, then we already seen this play, but we'll go over it again. So we start off with the all-22. We're in nickel. We got 4 up on the line. Empty set by the Packers. And there's just so much time, and eventually get sacked. So again, I talked about this coverage before, but we'll just look at it real quick. Aaron Rodgers had a good amount of time, but we're covered here, covered there. The middle, Nick Kwiatkowski's underneath. Trevathan's there. Safety. Yeah, there's nowhere to go there. Absolutely nowhere to go. And so coverage definitely does its job there, and then we'll get the end zone view to see who gets the pressure. So we got Lynch and Floyd, and then Akeem Hicks, and Eddie Goldman up front. And again, there's a lot of time, and eventually Akeem Hicks works his way to the quarterback, causing him to fumble as well. So definitely coverage allowed our pass rush enough time to get there. So the rest of our sacks are actually in the second quarter. So we'll start with this first one. Let's see, it's 3rd down and 9. So the money down, as they say. And I know they take a while here, so we're going to skip ahead. And this play is finally going to go. But we got 4 up front. As we can see, Khalil Mack doesn't get the sack, but Khalil Mack definitely starts the pressure. So let's look at the coverage. Nothing here. Middle's taken. Corner there. Good coverage. Nothing open. And then once again, Khalil Mack, as you can see, Leonard Floyd rushes from outside the tight end but doesn't get anywhere close. Khalil Mack is the one that pushes the pressure, and Robert Harris is the one that cleans it up. So far we got coverage sack. We got Khalil Mack again creating opportunities, and then we're going to skip down to this next sack. And now Deshaun Kaiser's in. 3rd down, 9 to go once again. Going into the red zone. See, we got 4 rushing. No one really open. And Khalil Mack just takes that away from him. That was absolutely beautiful. So, again, when you look at the coverage, nothing's really open. And it's easier to cover once you're down in the red zone. But we got the tight end doubled up. They're going across the middle, linebackers there. Everybody does a good job. And Kaiser just kind of walks his way into Khalil Mack. But if you watch Khalil Mack, you got Devontae Adams, their best receiver in the slot. They want to get him open. Khalil Mack reroutes him and pass rushes and gets the sack. Now Kaiser walks into him, but still, that's absolutely crazy impressive when you can reroute a receiver and still get to the sack. So that just shows Khalil Mack once again showing off his athleticism. And so our last sack in the game, Deshaun Kaiser's in again. We got 3 up. Floyd's moving around. Floyd drops in coverage, and we blitz Roquan Smith. Roquan ends up getting the sack, but really that was Khalil Mack that caused that pressure. But when you look at the coverage, once again, looking to see what we got. That's covered there. Over the middle's covered. Over the middle, we had a receiver fall. Nowhere to really go. Coverage gives us time again. And we clean up that sack. That Khalil Mack, when you see from the end zone, kind of starts it off, making Kaiser move. And we just continue to the quarterback and we get a win. So that's week 1 for you. All right, so now we are in week 2 against the Seattle Seahawks. We had 6 sacks this game. So first quarter, we get our first sack of Russell Wilson. 3rd down and 2, so 3rd and short to go. They already passed the green zone. We got 4 on the line of scrimmage plus our nickel. Our nickel blitzes end up picking up the sack. So we got some blitzing going on here. Let's see what the coverage looks like. Safety takes him. Curls is taken. That's all gone. There's nowhere to go right there. That wasn't a good route concept versus what we had. So we blitz off the edge, and I believe we replaced somebody. Or no, I think we went all 4. So yeah, that's 5-man pressure. No one really gets pressure except Callahan off the edge. That makes Russell move up in the pocket, and then Aaron Lynch cleans up. So nobody with immediate pressure, but we end up getting the sack. So second quarter, we get 4 sacks. So this is the first one, 2nd and long. Backed up. We got 4 down, plus a linebacker creeping up. And we are in the nickel. Looks like we rushed 4. And as you can see, nowhere really to go. And Russell's a smart guy. He's going to know if there's somewhere to go. That's fine. Linebacker flies. And look, there's a lot of compliments on the edge for defense. But look, when you have linebackers that are this athletic that can cover field like that, I talked about this with the Mahomes video. A lot of stuff underneath and over the middle is easy for quarterbacks. So when you got guys that cover space, there's nowhere to really go. And then that just creates the situation where the quarterback has to eat that play. And that's absolutely great coverage. And that's one of the things I talked about with Roquan becoming our starter, is that he was going to really bring that coverage ability. So 1st and 10. Going into the green zone, under center, play action, roll out, and that's Khalil Mack. I mean, you had a couple options there. I won't say that nobody was open, but really right here you had a blitz, and sometimes you call the right play into the right play. So they roll out. Khalil Mack's athletic enough to not only keep contained, but then make Russell cut back in and chase him down, and then people just come in and clean it up. So far, I mean, we've seen blitz this game. We've seen Khalil Mack do his thing. And then, of course, we saw the coverage just really holding up. So we're going to the 3rd sack of this particular game. 3rd down. Long to go. We got 4 up on the line of scrimmage. We rush 4. And just look at that coverage. All 22 does not lie. So he's running. Now, he could have been there, but he was all right. Underneath coverage, that was locked up over there. Prince got beat for a little bit, but for the most part, you had everybody in position to where they needed to be. And so that kind of set up this play. And then as far as the pass rush, let's see what we got. We got a straight rush and Khalil Mack. Really nobody, that's a pure cover sack. Nobody really forced Russell into anything, but Khalil Mack provided the most pressure that it eventually collapsed the pocket. And so, going to go to the last sack of this quarter. First down, no huddle. And he goes down. That was pretty quick, actually. So let's look at the coverage. Make sure. That's locked. Roquan's running across the middle. Our nickel's there. Everything's covered. Let's see how much time he gets on that one, though. But everything was really covered on there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, about 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds, which is the average. And actually, I think we did blitz replace somebody there. But good coverage, and once again, just creating that manufactured pressure that gets people to the quarterback. And let's see, our last sack comes in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 6. I couldn't read the score, but I believe we're definitely still in it. So 2nd down. And Russ had plenty of time, stepping up in the pocket and everything. So double move, covered. Callahan does a great job following his guy across the field. We get a blitz, actually. Kyle does his thing, and we're fine. Eddie Jackson's playing center field. There's nowhere to go. And Russ had plenty of time, but he's just stepping up, trying to make the best play that he can. Like I said, we get that blitz. And really, it's just continuing to work towards the play. There was nothing fancy about that. That's a coverage sack. All right, so that's it for week 2. All right, so we're here with the Cardinals. And let's see, we have 4 sacks this game. First one coming in the second quarter towards the very end. And it's Sam Bradford, I believe. So let's see, we got 4 up on the line. We rush 4. Eventually sacked. That was plenty of time, though. So let's check the coverage. Kyle Fuller's here. Underneath coverage. Safety plus linebacker. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. The tape doesn't lie. You look at this film, coverage is definitely there. So we got 4 up on the line. And actually, it's Leonard Floyd that starts that one. I believe it was a stunt. Nope, Leonard Floyd just gets him with the move and gets knocked down, but Akeem Hicks cleans it up. But that is the first sack. Like I said, Leonard Floyd won that one. So coverage definitely helped, but that wasn't one that Khalil Mack generated or anything. That's just a win on the inside by a more athletic guy. And that's what you want to see more of. And you want to see him stay up and finish that play, but that's what we get. So next sack, second quarter. We rush 4. Who is that? That's Khalil Mack. So let's look at the coverage. Oh, yeah, that's condensed. Hey, man, we good at coverage. I knew we were good during the year, but I have to give so much more credit, man, than people want to give our coverage. Like, our linebackers and our safeties are so good. And so Khalil Mack just bull rush dead into the quarterback. And that's all Khalil Mack. I mean, definitely the coverage as well, but good Lord, Khalil Mack just makes his way in there. So now we're going to jump to the fourth quarter. Let's see here. Got 2 sacks in the fourth quarter. 4 down. We rush 4. I don't know why he fumbled, but yeah, nowhere to go. Underneath's covered. That's covered. Middle's covered. And Roquan, no, that was Trevathan. Trevathan even had his way towards the flat to get the running back. So that's just tremendous coverage. And that's really not a pressure or anything. That's just a coverage sack. The coverage forced him to move his spot. Well, okay. Let me go back. Let me give Aaron Lynch a little love. Let's see what he did out here. Aaron Lynch runs a tight hoop to the quarterback. He runs a tight hoop to the quarterback to provide a little bit of pressure. I will give him that. But as you saw, once again, the coverage is tight. It's hard to produce these sacks without the coverage. And then the last sack is, I believe, the last play of the game. Let's see. We got 4 receivers. This is like an all-out blitz. And he goes down. I mean, you're in a Hail Mary situation. So that's just a stat patter as you throw that on the stats. But we got 3 down. And it's like 7 people that blitzed. So, yeah, that's going to happen. So that's it for the game against the Cardinals. All right, so now we going against the Buccaneers. We have 4 sacks. The first in the first quarter. Let's scroll down to that. I wish I could create a playlist with all these plays. Second and long. First quarter. We got 4 up on the line of scrimmage. Everybody's pretty tight. Rush 4. And let's look at that coverage. This is the game with Tolliver in, a rookie. I mean, you got 1 open guy in the flat. Coverage is pretty good, though. So let's see up front what we get. This was a straight 4-man rush, so no real blitz there. Aaron Lynch, Khalil Mack. And that is what you love to see. You don't always see it, but that's what you love to see from Akeem Hicks. Just a quick disengage and then throw the man and get straight to the quarterback. Not even throw the man, because that's not even true. When you quick disengage, you just discard the man and run towards the quarterback. You don't get tangled up. You get straight to the quarterback. So 3rd and 11, 3rd and long. We're in the second quarter. Woohoo! He got smacked. I'm sorry. He definitely got smacked. So let's see here. Let's see what we got at coverage-wise. Kyle Long's there. Or Kyle Fuller, sorry. Middle's taken. Yeah, there's nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. And look, I mean, you watching the same film I am. We haven't had a play yet where somebody's wide open. The quarterback just misses somebody. This is great coverage. And like I said, we blitz on this one as well. Looks like we bring 5-man pressure. Trevathan up the middle, but really Khalil Mack just absolutely eats that tackle's lunch. And yeah, that's all she wrote right there. So let's go to the third quarter where we got the rest of our sacks. The last 2 of the game. And this time Jameis Winston comes into the game. So right now it's 1st and 10. Third quarter after they pull Fitzpatrick. I don't remember if he got hurt or not. Got a 4-man pass rush. And that's a pretty quick rush. That's a pretty quick rush. We'll still check the coverage. Khalil Mack is in coverage, actually. Yeah, there's literally nowhere to go. Even if that wasn't a quick rush, he had absolutely nowhere to go. So, like I said, Khalil Mack didn't even rush on this one. And there's a little bit of time, but that's Robert Harris making a quick impact. Coverage has, everything locked up. Harris just really making a athletic play, diving for the quarterback. So, and then this last sack is also the last play of the game, or the last play of the third quarter, I should say. Excuse me. So 1st and 10 under center. We got 4 up on the line. Play action. Dancing around in the pocket. And goes down. So let's see what the coverage looks like. You got a guy open. You had a guy open for a moment. Not too bad. I mean, that's pretty locked up. You had a guy on the outside. I mean, but still a defender in the area. So definitely good coverage going on right there. Let's see what we got up front. We got Nick Kwiatkowski in at this point. 4-man rush. And Aaron Lynch doesn't. I mean, Aaron Lynch cleans it up, but I mean, he starts the pressure, but that's not great pressure. It's against a tight end. He gets ran off the spot. He continues to fight, what you like, and everybody continues to fight and cleans it up. But yeah, you got no real big time pass rushers right there. And so that's where you miss Khalil Mack. So that's it for the Bucks game. All right, so now we're against the New England Patriots. We had 1 sack, and then last week the week before, we didn't have a sack against the Dolphins, which of course got the upset. So third quarter is when we get the only sack, and then, I mean, look at who we're playing, Tom Brady. So it's a 3rd-and-1, 3rd and short, and they're going into the end zone. Tom Brady makes quick decisions, so let's see what the coverage looks like. We'll slow-mo it. So they're bunched up. We're actually still communicating. So let's see. That's easily covered. We rerouted the inside guy, so that coverage is pretty good. I mean, to the right, it was an easy concept to pick up. And then on the left, we just rerouted their inside man. Tom didn't really have anywhere to go. So, and of course, actually, I didn't do that. Of course, when you get towards the end zone, you put a lot of pressure on them. Blitz a couple people. Pretty simple. And that's it against the Patriots. So now we're going against the Jets. And once again, we only have 1 sack against the Jets, which came in the 4th quarter of the game. And I actually kind of surprised when I was looking at the stats, just because I feel like, well, I wouldn't say we dominated, but I feel like Sam Darnold really was overwhelmed by us. So, interesting, we only got 1 sack. So we got 4 up on the line of scrimmage. It's a 1st down. We got a blitz. And our nickel ends up catching that sack. So let's see. Pressed up here. Underneath, we're covered. Good coverage by everybody. I tell you, man, our linebackers are something else. The way we are able to cover over the middle, which is the easiest spot right now in the NFL. And I don't even think Khalil Mack is on this, but it doesn't really matter because Callahan gets the sack. So there we go for our 1 sack against the Jets. Again, we got blitz, so we manufactured pressure and really good coverage. All right, so we got the Bills. We got 4 sacks. Let's see, first coming right before the half. Nathan Peterman, not Josh Allen. This film's a little choppy. Yeah, it looks like a Hail Mary type situation. So yeah, that's a coverage sack. Let's not even really debate that. I mean, just looking to put it up in the air one time before the half. We got 3 down, but I think we blitz one, so 4-man pressure. And yeah, just work towards the quarterback. Coverage sack as usual. All right, so let's go to the fourth quarter where we get the rest of our sacks. Nathan Peterman still in the game, of course. We are blowing them out at this point. Let's check out the coverage. Oh, man. I'm not sure which linebacker that was, but that was so good. That was so good. Nowhere to really go. The one play they wanted to get was across the middle underneath. And as you can see, another coverage sack. I mean, well, okay, I take that back. Akeem Hicks got the party started on that one. And it's a stunt and a blitz, but Akeem Hicks powers his way through. And it's cleaned up eventually by Amos. So that was a stunt and a blitz to kind of get the offensive line off guard. But I'll give Akeem Hicks that credit for creating that pressure. And really, I mean, so far we've gone through the season. It's only been Akeem Hicks and Khalil Mack. Actually, is this the same play? No, it's not. Just looked like the same play. I think he got sacked back to back. That might have been what it was. And so Nathan Peterman goes down. 3rd and 16, 3rd and long. We'll just kind of look at the coverage real quick. So we're in the nickel. We blitz, 5-man pressure. Now that was open, but it wasn't enough to get you a first down. So the coverage wasn't perfect on that, but there was no deep shots that they could get to. So taking away, and 3rd and 16, of course, you can gamble that way. Like I said, we got 5-man pressure. Nothing immediate, and we really actually barely got that sack by Aaron Lynch. So there you go with that one. And then we're going to skip ahead to our last sack of the fourth quarter. Or of the game, I should say. 2nd and 20. And again, they're getting blown out. Blitz, 5-man pressure. We mistimed the blitz. And really, that was Roquan. And that wasn't even his blitz. He just kind of cleaned it up. Trevathan blitzed on that one. Yeah. I mean, Nathan Peterman's not seeing nothing downfield and just kind of panics and ends up getting sacked. So, again, no immediate pressure. Plus, we had to manufacture pressure on that one. But that's it for this week. All right, so we're against the Lions this game. 6 sacks. First quarter is our first sack. 1st and 5. We're up 6. We got 4 on the line and nickel, like usual. Nickel blitzes. And Callahan gets that sack. Callahan really good at blitzing, man. I always gave him that credit. And you definitely had the crossing route over the middle you could have hit. Probably just waiting for it to get a little more open, but everything else was pretty covered up. But it was one guy they could have hit. But really, you just got the immediacy of Bryce Callahan after that play action, just really closing in and making it difficult for Stafford. So, first quarter, going to the next sack. It's a 3rd and 9. The money down. Once again, we're up by 6. We got 4 on the line in nickel. Blitz. And he goes down. And we're not super aggressive. Fangio wasn't super aggressive with the blitzes. So that's covered. Underneath's covered, underneath. So all those vertical routes really covered. Nowhere to really go with that. But 3rd down is when we do like the blitz or if it's a long situation. So we got 4 across the board. Floyd, Mack, Gold, Hicks. I think it's Trevathan that blitzes. Nope, it's Roquan. And Roquan just works his way to quarterback. And again, I would call that a coverage sack. As we saw, the coverage really held up. Didn't give them nothing to look at. So we go to the third quarter for our next sack. It's a 1st and 10, backed up in their own territory. We got 5 on the line this time. We only blitz 4. And down goes Stafford. So let's look at the coverage real quick. Leonard Floyd drops into coverage. Picks up the underneath. Safeties, man. Safeties taking those deep routes, not being too impatient, not being caught out of position. Like I said, we only blitz 4, or we only rush 4. And Khalil Mack and Akeem Hicks. Akeem Hicks definitely got pressure with the bull rush, but Khalil Mack definitely gets the immediate pressure there. So Khalil Mack doing his thing in tandem with the coverage there, which I was giving them a lot of credit before, but after watching this film, it's hard for you not to really give these guys credit for what they did. All right, so 1st down, 3rd quarter, towards the end. We rush 4. Sack. Let's check out the coverage. That was quick pressure, though. Inside's taken. Vertical's taken. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. And let's see who got that. Khalil Mack is not on the field at this point. So we got Bullard, Goldman, Lynch. And that's Floyd. That's a nice move. Floyd definitely, again, showing the flashes, showing the things we want to see more consistently. I just don't think he has a move yet that he's great at. And so, showing the flashes, he has the athleticism. So in the 4th quarter, for our last two sacks, 1st down. We got 4 on the line. We only rush 4. That was a good effort, definitely on that sack. Let's check the coverage to the trip side. Underneath, linebacker there. Kyle Fuller squatting really in nowhere, but the safety got him. Yeah, nowhere to go on that. Absolutely nowhere to go. Coverage, man. Just being sound and understanding what they need to do. So, that's what you want to see. And that's Bilal Nichols. Great second effort, making that sack. And again, that's a tandem. I won't discredit Bilal Nichols for what he did, but coverage is set, man. Quarterbacks only can beat the pressure when there's mistakes in the coverage, and the coverage has been solid. So last sack of this game, 4 down, blitzed again with the nickel, had plenty of time, end up getting sacked. Because that initial blitz didn't work. Safety picked up him. Over the middle. That is locked up. And really, that's what the Bears did. We'll go through the rest of the sacks. But, man, the Bears locked up people's concepts. They really did in the route tree. And I know Khalil Mack, as good as he is, as nasty as that play is, the coverage allowed us to do this. And Khalil Mack is devastating, don't get me wrong. But there's plenty of times where he needs help too, as far as having time to get to the quarterback. So that's it for the Lions. All right, so now we're going against the Vikings. For the first time, we got 2 sacks in this game. First coming in the 3rd quarter. Towards the end. Kirk Cousins, 1st and 10. Going into, or actually they're already in the red zone. Decent amount of time, goes down, but good pressure. Good pressure to start out. Let's see what we got. That's covered. That's covered. I mean, you had the check down over the middle to Dalvin Cook. He definitely could have got there. Linebacker got there late. Let's see who got the party started on the D line. Khalil Mack, we got a T stunt, whatever you want to call it. He works outside and crashes inside. Offensive line didn't pick it up. Khalil Mack is devastatingly fast, but definitely some manufactured pressure on that one, where you scheme up to get pressure, and the coverage again does what it does. But Kirk Cousins could have got that pass off. that was really his fault, to be honest. And so fourth quarter, last sack of the game, just a blitz. They just went all in on my man. So let's see. They try to go with the quick. Whip routes covered. Let's go through that slow, actually. So in the slot, the whip route's going to be covered. He works back inside towards Callahan. Kyle Fuller. Yeah, you could have definitely went there, but that's all locked up. And by that time, he had pressure in his face. So Kyle Fuller definitely holding off, doing what he had to. Let's see how many people we end up rushing on this play. That's the real question. We rushed 4. That's Akeem Hicks. We rushed 4. And it definitely was a stunt. So we stunned inside. This O-line, man, is just bad. But good stuff by Hicks. I'll give Hicks that. I won't even give the coverage that. So that's it for the Vikings. All right, so back to the Lions. And I believe this is the Thanksgiving game where we only had 1 sack. But we all know we had a good game, so there's that. Or no, actually, I take it back. We had 2 sacks, both in the second quarter. As you see, 7-3. Actually, no. Is this the Thanksgiving game? I don't remember. But anyway, we got 3 on the line. Looks like we blitzed 5. And down goes Stafford. So let's see what we got on the outside. Covered. Running back underneath covered. I mean, you could have hit the deeper shot. I mean, there's definitely there, but all our guys are in position. So we blitz, manufacture pressure, twist and stunt. Looks like Roquan ended up cleaning that up. And really, Roquan just beat the running back and made the play he had to make. So, but once again, we blitz, and coverage does what it has to do. And we go to the last play of the half, which is our last sack of the game. So looks like this is like our third Hail Mary situation. Blitz, of course, just be aggressive, get the half over with. Coverage sack, of course. So anyway, that's it for the Lions in this week. So now we got the Giants, and the Giants, we got 3 sacks, 2 coming in the second quarter. Towards the end, we all know what Saquon did to us towards the end of the half. I should watch that play, but we won't right now. 4 on the line, nickel, our typical base. Oh, and we got a stunt, and down goes Eli. So the end works inside on that. Let's see the coverage. I mean, you had a check down, but really, you had an inside curl here, but everything else was pretty much covered. Safety takes that one. Actually, you had a guy on the outside wide open who looks like Prince. Prince presses. Oh, no, sorry. Prince is there. I couldn't see with the white. So, yeah, you didn't have too many options there. But let's see how much time he got. Let's see who makes the play. So, Let's see. Ball snaps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 seconds. But again, you got a nice little stunt here where Akeem Hicks works his way outside and Leonard Floyd peels back inside. Line just doesn't pick it up. So definitely a good combination of coverage and nice manufactured pressure at the end of the day. And look, I mean, some D-line coaches love stunts and all that stuff. I'm not a big fan of it. Once again, I want to go straight up and beat you one-on-one, but that's just me. Quick snap. Plenty of time. Coverage sack all the way. That's covered. Collides in the middle. All covered. Linebackers and safeties and corners. Just everybody doing their job. And just keep working towards the quarterback and keep fighting till the play's over. So we go to the fourth quarter for our last sack of the game. 3rd and 8. The money down. Four down on the line. We rush for Khalil Mack. Eat somebody lunch. Let's check the coverage. OBJ against Prince. Rerouted. Everything's underneath. First of all, that's a horrible route combination. It's 3rd and 8, and they all ran pretty much short of the sticks. So, bad play calling right there. And, yeah, Khalil Mack eats somebody lunch, but so does Robert Harris, and I wasn't able to get to it. But, yeah, good coverage, good pressure. I'm going to give pressure credit on that one as well. So, that's it for the Giants. All right, now we are going against the Rams, and we got 3 sacks against the Rams as well. First sack coming in the 3rd quarter. And we all remember how good this game was. And actually, this was a safety. So, 2nd and 15. 2nd and long. We got 4 up on the line. Definitely going to be aggressive in this area of the field. Akeem Hicks just beats that man from the get-go. But we'll look at the coverage still. Little inside out. I mean, wasn't the best coverage, but definitely we were in the area, made that tough, or made that throw tough. So let's see. At least from what I saw, Akeem Hicks beats this guy pretty bad. No, it was actually Eddie Goldman. Take it back. It was Eddie Goldman. So let's see what Eddie at the nose position. And they just leave him one-on-one, and he just bull rushes him. So, hey, that's a pass rush sack all day. I'll give Eddie Goldman that. And that's why you don't leave the nose one-on-one. Like, I'm not sure what the call was there, but obviously they messed up. So let's see here. 2nd and 3. 2nd and short. Backed up in their own territory. 4 down. 4 go. And that's a strip sack, I believe. Not sure what happened there. So let's go back and look at the coverage real quick. And we play tight, man. We play tight. We keep stuff underneath us. Kyle Fuller's there. Linebackers there. And look, our linebackers are so good without even really knowing where they are, just knowing the scheme and where they're supposed to drop. Because some linebackers drop in the wrong direction and don't go the right place. Just by where Trevathan drops, he takes away a pass without even knowing it. And it's that split second that makes the quarterback hesitate, and then you get sacked. And so I can't say enough about our linebackers and safeties. So 4th down, 4th and 4. A big play in the game. This is our last sack of the game. We got 4 up on the line. Preston nickel. We rush for absolutely nowhere to go. Let's just be honest here. You absolutely nowhere to go. That flat's taken. That flat's taken. Everything's taken. You run an underneath combination against us, and you got nowhere to go. We're going to squat on most things. Our linebacker's going to be able to cover everything underneath. You really have absolutely nowhere to go. And we just keep working towards the quarterback. And that's it. That was our big victory against the Rams. All right, so back against the Packers, we got 6 sacks this game. First in the first quarter against Aaron Rodgers. So let's see, 3rd and short to go. Backed up in their own territory. We got 4 down in our nickel. Blitz. Roquan wide open. I don't even know what the coverage was. I just know Roquan was there in a hurry. Oh yeah. Oh, that was covered up. I mean, watch this combination here. This inside outside, in out. That's called an IOU. Inside outside. They knew exactly what to cover. Nobody got tricked by that. And then just a great blitz. There's nobody here. You got 3 for 2. 3 for 2. And so when you're empty and you get a 5-man pressure, it's up to the quarterback to take care of the 5th person. And so they have to either get the ball away, scramble, or hot route, whatever. And in that case, there was nowhere to go. 3rd and 10. This is the second quarter. So 3rd and long. Trips one way. We rush for plenty of time as Khalil Mack backs into a sack. So let's see. They bunched here. Yeah. I mean, he just ran into our safeties. There was nowhere to go. And then, Prince isn't the fastest, but Prince does enough to keep up with these receivers. I believe that was Prince out there, but definitely did enough to keep up with these receivers, man. So we rush for Khalil Mack doing his thing. So, I mean, Leonard Floyd had a little bit of spurt, but he didn't really get there. So, 3 sacks in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10. Tied up. And this is really, the quarter when you got to turn up the pressure. We do a 4-man blitz. This film is kind of shaky, but we do a 4-man blitz. That's covered. That's covered. That's covered. And you know what? You just can't really kill us across the middle. I mean, you really can't when we on our job. And that's what it comes down to. Because that's what offenses want to do, man. They want to beat you across the middle. Yep. Cover sack. Keep working towards the quarterback. Keep working towards the quarterback. All right. So for our next sack against Aaron Rodgers. 1st down, backed up to their own territory. Nickel, 4-man down. Good coverage, but Khalil Mack, man, just absolutely terrorizing on the edge. Just that corner, that lean, that dip. I mean, you don't get a quarterback a lot of time. I mean, we got good coverage, but you don't give a quarterback a lot of time when you run the arc that well. So, last sack is towards the end of the game. They're going into the end zone. 2nd and 8. Taking a sweet time. Obviously a covered sack. Obviously nowhere to go. Yeah. So last sack against the Packers for this week. All right, so 49ers, we got one sack, which again is kind of surprising. We're going against a young quarterback, but third quarter, we got our first sack. Nick Mullins, 4 down. We blitz. Roquan. I could tell by the way he was running that was Roquan. Just absolutely the speed. I mean, you definitely could have got that receiver against Fuller, but one receiver fell down, and then just the speed of Roquan in his face, it was absolutely nowhere to go. And you know what? I like this, and I know a lot of people talk about they want to blitz more with Fangio, but man, I'm telling you, when you do 4-man pressure, you're allowed to cover a lot of things. You just got to have tenacity to continue to get to the sack. And that's it for this week. In our last game of the season, is the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, we absolutely destroyed them. 4 sacks. First one in the first quarter. Kirk Cousins, 4 down, or 4 on the line, I should say. Nickel. We rush 4. He immediately starts looking. So let's see what the coverage looks like, because he immediately starts scrambling. Press, that's dead. He knew he had nowhere to go. Some of these concepts are just terrible to me, to be honest with you. I understand it's an early down, but good Lord. Eddie Goldman. I like that, man. And look, when we see Eddie Goldman get these one-on-one opportunities, he really takes advantage of them. And so that's something to look for, man. I mean, he's definitely strong, but he showed good hands too when he gets these opportunities. So that excites me. So we got 4 down. Backed up against their own territory. We rush 4. He has some outlets. He definitely has some outlets. But at this point, Cousins is just scared, because even without the sacks, we was getting pressure on him. And Khalil Mack, Harris, they collapsed the pocket. I give that to the D-line. Absolutely. Coverage wasn't perfect, but the D-line definitely made it uncomfortable, and Cousins just kind of freaked out. So third sack, we got a lot of people on the line. Play action, duh. Looks like we only rushed 4. Akeem Hicks. So let's see, play action. They only put 2 in the route. This is some terrible play calling. They only put 2 in the route against us. They know we go max coverage. And Akeem Hicks gets 1-on-1 and just takes that man's lunch. So, bad play calling, but definitely on the D-line right there. I mean, of course the coverage did what they had to do, but Akeem Hicks made a great play right there. Because he could have gave him time to take the shot, but absolutely didn't. So, last sack of the season. Woo! He's gone. I'm going to guess that's Khalil Mack. We'll see who that was. But let's see. This trips here. Oh, this is just a Hail Mary. This is our 4th Hail Mary. So, as we see. Actually, that's not Khalil Mack. That's Isaiah Irvin. Woo, nice. I wish he made that sack, but that was a nice hoop. So, anyway, that's it for that. So, those are all the sacks. I know we went long, but we had to, because at the end of the day, we all want the Bears to win, as I say. But I think looking at this gave me a lot. Hope it gave you a lot. We need more pass rush outside of Khalil Mack, outside of blitzing. I do think our coverage was really strong, and we'll see what we'll be able to do as we try to replace 2 of our starters. So anyway, Anyway, up. Sorry. Anyway, share this around. Get the conversation started. Thumbs up, subscribe, and remember, stay up and bear down.